Hey recruiters, Jennifer Tardy here, and you are back on the Diversity Recruiter Central channel, and we are home of everything that you need to know about diversity recruiting, except for how to do those ridiculous Boolean string search codes. Now, in today's video, I will be sharing with you seven habits of highly effective diversity recruiters. So you don't want to miss this episode, and you don't want to miss our favorite segment, which is Diversity Recruiter 911, where I'm answering your questions that you submit online to me. And so I'll be answering our question today as well too. So stick around, you don't want to miss it. So listen, recruiters are competitive. Let's just be honest. I've had and led several recruiting teams, and I know that recruiters are they have a natural desire to be high performers. And so that's why you should pay attention to these 7 habits that I'm about to share with you, because if you can perfect these 7 habits, then you will become known and perceived by the leadership team as a high performing recruiter. So let's not waste any more time. Let's jump right into it. Number 1, highly effective diversity recruiters continue or start studying workplace demographics compared to workforce demographics. How in the world are you ever going to truly understand which populations are underrepresented within your actual organization without first having an understanding of what your workforce demographics look like, and then having an understanding of what the demographics are within your organization, comparing the two, and then understanding where your focus needs to be. And it's not just a one-time process, it's a continual process of learning. And the more you learn, the more you're able to share that information with leaders as well too. A great recruiter will already understand this information. Do not wait for someone to share it with you. Now, I can't go into how to do this in this video because we have 6 other highly effective habits that I need to share with you, but I do promise you that I will make a video specifically for this. So stay tuned for another video. Habit number 2, highly effective diversity recruiters form the right external partnerships, and they make them effective. I'm all about the ABCs, always be connecting. You have to be able to reach into the right networks and the right pools to be able to tell more people that your organization has positions available, and to be able to share your job descriptions with those organizations. Now, when I say external partnerships, I mean external to your recruitment team, right? External to the sourcers that are helping you to look online, external to other recruiters who you're reaching out to. So external can still be within your company and outside of your company as well. So within your company, think about affinity groups. Does your organization have employee resource groups? Can you go to those groups and can you build effective partnerships with them where they are ambassadors for the company and they are out looking for referrals and they're out sending you great referrals? Or can you think about program and organizational leaders outside of your company? There are many organizations that are external to your organization that are trying to make sure that either their participants, their students, people who graduate from their programs, that they get great jobs. And if you're the first person that's on their mind, they will send the most competitive people your way. And so it's your responsibility to work outside of your space in recruitment, outside of online spaces, and go out and meet people and build those effective partnerships. So that's the second habit of a highly effective diversity recruiter. Habit number 3 of highly effective diversity recruiters, they hone their cultural competence, awareness, and knowledge. Now, what does this mean? They take the time to immerse themselves in understanding populations outside of their own. And in some instances, think about your own population too, because there's a lot of knowledge to be learned there as well. So other cultures, other genders, people who self-identify in different ways, they have diverse ways of thinking and believing and behaving. And the more that you understand that, And it's more than just about reading books and reading white papers. Sometimes it's about joining organizations and being a part of populations where you can deeply immerse yourself in understanding what job seekers from different populations care about. And the more that you understand what they care about and how to connect with them and how to identify with them, the more comfortable you'll be as a recruiter, the more confident you'll be as a recruiter, and the more access you'll have to populations to fill your own candidate pools along the way. Cultural competence is a huge effective habit that needs to be built among diversity recruiters. Habit number 4, highly effective diversity recruiters build and maintain effective relationships with senior leaders and key decision makers. So a part of this is also knowing what your elevator pitch is. So when people ask you, well, what do you do as a recruiter? Or what is a diversity recruiter? You'll already know the quick and easy way of explaining it. When people ask you, well, why is it important? You'll already know how to connect what you do to the bottom line and how it produces positive results for an organization's bottom line. Now, you need to have that in place as you're building these partnerships with executive leaders and key decision makers, because it will give you access to have a seat at the table. It will earn you credibility, and people will begin listening to you when you make recommendations for what could make diversity recruiting even more effective or more value added. These key leaders and decision makers are the people who can either make or break your diversity recruiting efforts. And so when I talk about key leaders and decision makers, I'm talking about people that are in senior leadership, people that are in human resources, people that hold a stake in the success of your role. That's truly important. Habit number 5, highly effective diversity recruiters find systematic barriers within their own hiring processes, and they work to remove them. So how do you find systematic barriers that are preventing underrepresented populations from maneuvering through your hiring process and getting hired? It's simple enough. Take a look at the data, not the current data, because you're not supposed to know any of the demographic information of the people who are actively being interviewed. However, if you go back and look at the last 3 years of data within your organization, I'm sure that you may find some patterns in that data that will tell you where people who have self-identified where they may be withdrawing from the process or where they may be getting rejected from the process. And then you can begin thinking of, well, what are some process improvements that we can put in play? Maybe it involves some community training, some extra resources or material that will be great for people to know more about the organization, to know more about how to be successful in moving through the process. But a great habit here is first discovering what some of those barriers are. And I can guarantee you there are probably at least 1 or 2 barriers that you won't know about until you actually take a look at the data. Got it? As a matter of fact, check out our first video where we talk about diversity recruitment best practices. Check it out right here after you're done with this video, because it's going to walk you through some additional information about what you can do to remove some of those systematic barriers. You don't want to miss that video. Habit number 6, highly effective diversity recruiters will show proof of diversity for job seekers. Now, what I mean by this is in any of your marketing materials, whether it's your current company website, whether it's external company websites on social media, like on LinkedIn and Glassdoor, Career Builder, or Monster, wherever there's a presence for your company, how are you showing proof of diversity? Make sure that you do that by way of what is your diversity mission or vision? Do you have that statement written anywhere on your website? When you think about the senior leaders in your organization, is there diversity within your senior leadership? Make sure that you show their pictures and their titles and what they do in the company and what their thoughts are about diversity within the organization. Are there people within the organization who look like the populations that you're trying to serve and hire? And are they talking about their experiences within your organization? That's really important. Do you have affinity groups within your organization, employee resource groups where people can go to other tribes or communities that have a similar experience to them or care about the same things that they care about? Do you have that? If you have those things, then those items should be embedded in your marketing material. Are you a very inclusive organization? Can you show proof of that in your marketing material as well? Can people talk to it? Do you have testimonials? There are plenty of exhaustive ways that you can show proof. And as a highly effective diversity recruiter, you always have a lens on all of your marketing material and all of the ways that you're branding yourself as an organization. Make sure that it's making a statement that you believe in diversity, inclusion, and equity. Habit number 7, highly effective diversity recruiters understand how they are being measured. This is a really important one because I've watched a lot of recruiters who are responsible for increasing the diversity among candidate slates. I've watched them as their metrics, either they don't have any metrics at all, so they're fumbling through the process, never truly knowing if they're successful in their efforts or not. But I've also watched people that have performance metrics that have nothing to do with things that they're even accountable for. And I share with leaders constantly that, for instance, you cannot hold a recruiter accountable for increasing diversity within an organization when the recruiter is not 100% accountable for the hiring decision. Recruiters are accountable for the job pool of candidates that are submitted to hiring managers. So they are accountable for all of the good faith outreach efforts that they pour into diversifying that candidate pool. But the selection decision is oftentimes not made by that recruiter by themselves. So make sure that you know your metrics and make sure that you're working closely to those metrics, and you will, my friends, become a highly effective diversity recruiter. So now we're on to my favorite segment, which is the Diversity Recruiter 911 segment. And it is where recruiters like you can submit your questions to me and I will answer them live, like right here for you. And so today's question is, how can I get started as a diversity recruiter? I like that question. So in order for me to answer this question, I'm going to have to first go on my soapbox for a second. I do not like the notion of a diversity recruiter. And one day, as we become an organization that moves toward greater representation, we'll know that it's everyone's responsibility to think about diversity. A recruiter is a recruiter is a recruiter. And all recruiters should care about diversity because of how it positively affects the bottom line, dollars and cents for organizations, how it makes you more competitive in general. I'll talk about that in a future video as well. So I say all of this to say that there's no such thing truly as a diversity recruiter, but oftentimes presently we have to use the title to make an impact. And I'm okay with using that title to make an impact today, but the hope is that recruiters are recruiters who care about diversity in general. Now, how do you become a recruiter? For those of you who are recruiters but who want to get more into alignment of a diversity focus, then the first thing that I would suggest is look at all these 7 habits and start implementing these 7 habits into your daily routines. Now, for those of you who aren't recruiters yet, then start connecting yourself to recruiters. Recruiters always need additional support by way of ambassadors to be able to get the word out. So the more that you're able to get the word out, whether you are representing the company at a career fair or whether you are representing the company at your alma mater, whether you're telling people about the organization and sending over referrals to recruiter, find a recruiter who can sort of be your quasi-mentor. Connect yourself to them and find out activities that you can participate in. I'm sure that they will be happy to allow you to help to participate in activities. Also, go in on your own, or maybe within your organization, they offer cultural competence training. Learn about that. This is a great time to learn about it. Now, getting that cultural competence training plus embedding yourself into activities with recruitment. Should a position become available as a recruiter or maybe as a recruiting coordinator, you'd be one of the people that's on their minds when they're thinking about that position. And so if you're on their mind and you're able to interview for a position and successfully get it, go ahead and get a foot in the door type of position as a recruiting coordinator, build those skills, and then develop into a recruiter, or go straight into a recruiting position. But either way, being a recruiter is a great place to be. So I'm glad that you are following these videos and learning along the way. It could be a really good thing for you. So I hope that you've enjoyed this video, and I hope that we've answered a lot of questions for you by way of how you can be a highly effective recruiter, how you can be perceived as a high-performing recruiter. Now, what I want you to do is check out our free downloadable guide, 10 Ways to Increase Workplace Diversity Without Using Ridiculous Boolean String Searches. We have that guide in our details section. If you haven't downloaded it yet, please get it, download it. It's yours to keep for free. Now, in next week's episode, I am going to share with you some common unfair hiring practices that recruiters should avoid at all costs. So make sure that you stick around. It's a really important video. So again, I'm Jennifer Tardy. I'm your diversity recruiting leader, and I will see you in the next video. Take care, guys. Hey recruiters, if you like this video, we have others coming your way each Thursday. So subscribe to our channel and click the bell to be notified as new videos get posted. Don't forget, leave us your recruiter questions for a chance to be spotlighted in an upcoming video. Don't forget about our other channel for job seekers. And as always, in order for our workplaces to be underrepresented no more, we all have to listen, engage, apply, repeat, now, learn. I'll talk to you next time.